Hello from the kitchen here in the wilderness. It is Thursday, June 20th, and I am on a backpacking project I've been calling unfinished business to try and complete the JMT. And this is day 4 of my adventure. I have three more days left here, and it has been certainly beautiful and difficult, very difficult. My first challenge was day 1 on Monday to get up and over Kearsarge Pass, and I think I started about 6 a.m. at the trailhead. I was packing up all my stuff from the cheesy little campsite down there, and began the arduous trip to get up to the pass, and it took me about 5 hours. We'll get to what the problems are. Altitude. I'm in excellent shape. I can run 5 miles. I can do stairs. I'm in good shape anyway, maybe not excellent. After this trip I'll be in excellent shape. But anyway, it was certainly a struggle to get up Kearsarge, and I guess I had every confidence at that point that I was gonna make it, or at least give it my best shot. And I did make it. I was really happy to be up on top there. Most of the people in that vicinity are day hikers, and a few PCTers coming over from the other side to head down to Onion Valley to resupply. In fact, that's mostly who I've seen out here is PCTers. Anyway, after having completely exhausted myself to get to the pass, I have to get off the pass. And it was about 3 or 5 miles, probably 5 miles, 4 miles, let's say, to Charlotte Lake, which was my intended camping spot. And it was a struggle to get there. Not feeling well most of the day, a lot of nausea and fatigue. Sort of the story of the trip. When I got down to where I've camped now 3 different times, because I've been to Charlotte Lake, that was my 3rd time going to Charlotte. I thought I was gonna lose my non-lunch. There was nothing in my stomach. I had eaten an orange on the way up and made one of these complete meals also, but had maybe a third or a half of it. That was the only thing in my stomach at all. And anyway, like I said, I thought I was going to be ill, very nauseous. It passed. I managed not to vomit, which would have been quite unpleasant, of course. And I'm going to segue into, I just had a great meal here on Thursday night. I had some Mountain House, and this is my kitchen. You can't really see anything but me, I'm sure, but in my bedroom is over there on the other side of the log there. I am off-trail camped, really just a couple 100 yards, get away from the people. I'm right near uh, Tyndall, Tyndall Ranger Station, I guess, and Tyndall Meadow is not too far away. Anyway, there's some bear boxes down there, and I'm sure a whole bunch of PCT campers. But I came up here because I wanted to be alone, and I enjoy, camping alone as opposed to where I was last night. It was just not it was so crowded with PCTers. Anyway, I'll get to that quickly. So let's jump back to, okay, I survived day one. Day two, let's pack up. I knew I wanted an easy day because it was so difficult to get over Kearsarge. And so I said I'll do 5 or so miles. In fact, I looked at a stream crossing on the map that was on the way. Well, let me describe. To leave Charlotte Lake, there's a 1 mile ascent, and that's followed by a 2 mile descent into Bubbs Creek, and there's a meadow. I can't think of the name of it. Vidette Meadow. Bubbs Creek, and so a lot of camping areas down there. I thought of going down there on day one, but I was exhausted. It was all I could do to make it to Charlotte and collapse. So day two, easy day. I think I even took it easy in camp that morning. I had a camp mate who just came into my area, and there was several obvious tent sites there, and I said, make yourself at home. And I think he was from the Bay Area. No, he was from San Diego. And anyway, we chatted a bit and kept to ourselves a bit and had a nice evening. And then he had taken off. He was going to go walk up Kearsarge and I guess come back because he left his tent. So I had to leisurely try to get some food in, had some coffee, a small breakfast, pack it up. I don't think I left camp until 8:30, and began this up hike out of Charlotte and then down to Bubbs and Vidette, and then basically from there you're on a slow crawl to get up to, I think it's like 7 miles up this valley to get up to Forester Pass. It's the highest pass on the JMT. And I really struggled with all of the uphill for that day. Once I had completed the downhill into Vidette and it began to climb, very difficult for me. Very difficult. Altitude, nausea, fatigue, heavy pack. And but I made it to the stream. I think it was called, it was a stream that came out of, I think it was Golden Bear Lake, up above where I was, near Center Peak, but on the route to Forester. And I found a nice little camp there off the stream, had it to myself, just like I like. I've been cowboy camping as much as I can, except for last night, because of all the damn PCTers. But so I cowboy camp and just, sleep out in the open with my bag, no tent required. And had a night, I probably quit early too at, I don't know, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was done. Stick a fork in me, but I'd made it where I said I would like to, and that was good. So, another night camped out. Now, at this point, I realize Forrester's a tall drink of water. A lot of effort. It's got snow patches and snow slopes to get to it on its upper reaches and on the approach. Some of the trail is buried. You can lose the trail. Anyway, there's a lot of people out on trail. They're all PCTers. They're all northbound. And so it's getting busier and busier out here in the wilderness for sure. In fact, God, they let all these permits? Anyway, so I said to myself that, look, if things don't work out, if you're ill, fucking turn around, go back, eventually over a number of days, make your way back to Kearsarge and call it a great fucking effort. And so anyway, this was what I said to myself, and I had gotten up early to get on it as quickly as I could. Still, I think it was 7:30 before I could manage to break down and get some coffee and minimal food in. Then put that fucking heavy pack on. We'll get to that. I brought way too much food, way too much shit. And I have no appetite, so why did I even bring food? No, I need a minimal amount of food, minimal. And I brought way too much. Packing my fears. So, beautiful climb. I am in distress though while climbing. I'm not unable to pull out the phone to take a picture. I'm doing the best I can to get up the mountain. It gets more and more difficult the higher you get. You start to walk through snow patches. You start to be off trail. I was boulder scrambling up not boulder scrambling, just walking up a steep, bouldery slope. And then that connected to the upper snowfield, which I think I already had my spikes on at that time. Didn't ever need crampons. That was overkill. And the ice axe is not even come off the pack, so that's not an issue. But it was it was a great little snow climb to make the last 300 feet to the summit, and takes you right to the summit. This pass is built in this crazy place. The switchbacks that were covered in snow are very, it kind of mellows it out though to have the switchbacks. It's not. And got up there. I was really thrilled to be there. Really didn't think I was going to make it, to tell you the truth. And I could tell at a certain point when I was, say, 500 feet below the top, I was going to make it. And I got there, and it's beautiful. Got some help. Initially, I got there, and I was the only one there. But people started to arrive. A couple of guys were coming up behind me from the north side, and of course the PCTers are arriving then from the south side, as they are northbound. And it actually ended up with like 10 people up there. I was probably there for 20 minutes. Quickly got cold. I had been generating all this heat and energy to climb up there, and I think I had this layer on and shorts and my minimal long underwear, which I often wear long underwear under my shorts. Anyway, it got cold. There was a breeze, and the temperature was about 49, I think. In fact, the air temperature in general, with some exceptions this afternoon, it's been very mild. Any breeze, like it's down in the 50s, upper 50s, lower 60s, much of the day. At night, definitely in the 40s, and some of the mornings I checked were 30. I saw a 31 and a 32. But anyway, put on some additional layers and began the descent. And the descent was less mountaineering because there was no snow on that south-facing side. There was the switchbacks, which are engineered into a rock face. It's crazy. And you go down, I don't know, 1,000 feet of switchbacks, probably less, 800 feet. And then it's a big, like, sloping basin. And you start walking across that for several miles. And there was some snowfields down there. By this time, it's late in the afternoon. Incidentally, I summited Forester at about 12:20 p.m. So as the afternoon wears on, what snow, and as we get lower, the snow turns real slushy. It's even more difficult to walk in. There's only a few patches, but it made it more difficult. And I think I needed to make it down 4 miles, 4 miles to Tyndall Creek. It was a kind of a regular campground. It had a bear box, which is why it's a regular campground. And there was already PCTers there. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon. And let me tell you, that place filled up with campers. I had people right next to me. Kind of crazy. Which is kind of the only reason I went up and, the only thing I brought is my tarp tent. But it was just, there was like no such thing as privacy. People right on top of people. Couldn't even take a leak. So, funny. So, what else? That was last night. And then today, the mission basically would be to get in position for Whitney, which I'm looking at right there. And that's not going to happen, by the way. I'll show you Whitney. I'll show you around a little bit. There it is, 14,505. And here's the kitchen. I was just sitting on the bear box. And the bedroom, you really can't see. It's behind the log. There's my pack in the distance. My pad and bag are below the log. So, that's kind of, I was going to say about today. Today, I was short of 8 miles, 7.8. Again, fucking struggle. It was up and down, a few steep climbs, mostly in, right below tree line, I would say. It's difficult. The fucking pack is so heavy. Kills me. So, I made some grave errors here in my view. And the errors include just bringing too much shit. Let's start with food. I got way too much food. I had 13 pounds of food. I have no idea what it weighs now, and I'm concerned about continuing to carry all this food to the point where that bear box down there is going to get visited by me in the morning, and food's going to come out of my bear box, out of my bear vault, and it's going to have a little sign that says free food, and that should be all fine. I gave one of these away this morning to a PCTer. Should have given them both. So I need to keep enough food just to get out of here, and that is half of what's in this bear box, or less. And I'll only leave packaged food, not repackaged food, for instance. That's probably, they aren't interested in that, but packaged food, sealed food, I got, anyway. You know, I also packed the mosquito insert to the tent. That's never going to get used, so that's probably, let's just call it a pound. I don't need to carry the ice axe, and that, you know, who could have known though? Everybody has one out here. That could have been another pound. Clothes, probably 2 pounds. Just knick-knack, this knack-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, dental floss, you know, first aid kit, poop kits, extra. God, if I had to do it over again. And you can't out here. I mean, you can't leave it. Much as I'd like to, you can't. Except for the food I can leave, but everything else I'll have to take. So that's the State of the Union. It is Thursday night. It is a beautiful night. I'm going to watch the face of the west face of Whitney turn orange tonight, I'm sure. Probably get some pictures of it too. And then I'm going to walk past where the trail would go up. I mean, even from here, that game plan should have been to get to here and then walk up another, whatever, couple, 3-4 miles to a camping place that would put you in better position to then the following day get up early and make the climb, get back down, collapse into your tent if you had one. And it would consume Friday. I look at the map, I look at, you know, the number of miles that are left, and if I were to do that, besides making me sick, possibly, I mean, I'd probably make it, right? I'd probably make it, not from this distance. If I had gotten up there further to get that camp I was telling you about. Anyway, without a pack, you know, different game. With a pack, different game. So anyway, my plan is to just continue hiking on out of here. There's a possibility I could be out by Saturday. I think that's, unless I pick up miles and pick up pace and feel better, even that probably won't happen. Which is okay. I'd always planned on Sunday, and maybe earlier in the day on Sunday, or I don't know, midday, and then I got to hitch out of there and go get my car and get home to my dog. So, welcome to my world. It's a beautiful world. There's some pain and suffering in it. Imagine that. How do you get all this beauty without some of that pain and suffering? I just put too much on my plate, though. A little too much in my backpack. Peace out. Thanks for listening to me. Have a great evening.